YouTube, it's your boy Yella, representing Yella Entertainment. Welcome to the Budget Phone Battle of 2020. We've got iPhone SE versus the Google Pixel 4a. Man, two beautiful devices, both within most people's budget, less than $500. Obviously, the Google Pixel 4a, you could probably get a little bit cheaper than the iPhone SE. $349.99, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gig storage. I just happen to have the 128 gig iPhone SE, but the starting price is $399. But for the 128 gig, I want to say I paid about $450. So about $100 difference between the two. Neither one of these have 5G. So if you hold out a little longer, you can get the 5G version of this Google Pixel 4a phone. But let's talk about it. Hardware. All right. You do have an IP rating on the iPhone SE, which is great. So you can get this wet and not worry about it. Dust and water resistant. Much older design. It's got the body of the iPhone 8. So you're going to get those bezels. If you don't mind those, it is what it is. Battery life is better because I am running the beta of iOS 14. So I am hopeful that when iOS 14 becomes official, the battery life does improve on the SE. So if I had to crown the winner of the battery life, first of all, it's going to be with the Pixel 4a. So the build quality of Pixel 4a, pretty solid, no IP rating. But I do like the way this phone is constructed. It doesn't have those bezels, so the screen is definitely, it looks more appealing on the 4a. Now, what really separates these is the internals. So you're going to get that, the 13, I want to say it is, for the iOS internals. I can't even think of the name right now. I'm drawing a blank. Sorry about that. But definitely a faster processor with the iPhone SE. It has the same processor as the iPhone 11. In the Google Pixel 4a, you're going to get a Snapdragon, I want to say it's a 730. It is not a slouch. But as far as the internals go, obviously the SE is going to be a lot faster. But in normal use, day-to-day use, as far as just opening, closing apps, browsing, web speeds, and things like that, you won't really see much of a difference. But if you're going to be doing a lot of gaming and things like that, you are going to see a difference with the SE. And plus, I do want to throw out there that I really feel that the developers have really put a lot of work into dealing with iOS, and the apps are definitely more optimized with iPhones. So if you like certain games, I can almost guarantee you that they're going to perform better and your experience will be better if you have an iPhone. Now, if you are not part of the iPhone ecosystem, I would probably recommend the 4A as far as value over the iPhone. So if you don't own an Apple Watch, you don't have an iPad or a Mac, then don't get roped in. If you just need a phone, I would say just go with the Pixel 4a, or like I said, hold out for the 5G version of it. But if it's really about the budget, you won't be disappointed with the 4a. The 4a is just as snappy. There's a lot more ways to customize the phone when you're dealing with Google. I love this. I love that your Google News is right here, like at the swipe. I love having the Google News feed there. I really wish Apple would implement something similar there. But I mean, I know they have the little widgets and whatnot. Still not the same to me. But I mean, you can't go wrong. These are two excellent phones. Two excellent phones here. Like, no complaints from me. Other than the 5G fact about this phone, like I don't know how they would release something back to back like that. Um, but the 4A has been solid. The SE has been solid. I would side with the bigger screen. Both to me are still one-handed devices. I have pretty big hands, so not a problem there using them one-handed. The camera though, if you take a lot of photos at night, just forget about it. This wins hands down. The Pixel 4a was going to win that battle all day long. Just the point and shoot ability. If you're in great lighting, daytime, both cameras are pretty good, but overall, the Pixel camera is going to crush it, in my opinion. I know somebody else might go against that that's been using the SE. I'm talking point and shoot. Not the best lighting conditions. The 4A is going to be your winner. Fingerprint reader responds well on both. It's on the front for the SE, on the back for the 4A. I mean, just really pick your poison on that. They both work well. Very well implemented with different apps, especially like banking apps. That's what I really use it for the most, because you don't want to have to type in your password every single time. So having that fingerprint reader is excellent. Yeah, these are top dogs right here. You guys comment below. Do you own either of these phones? How do you feel about these phones? I feel like these phones are really starting to cause manufacturers to rethink how they're rolling out different devices. I do not have the Note 20 Ultra just yet, but I'm already kind of second guessing owning that phone for $1,300, especially when you can buy a few of these with that same amount of money. And really, the difference is you just don't you wouldn't have an S Pen. So that's kind of what makes the Note special, which is why I like a lot of the Note phones. But when it comes to the budget phones, man, I don't think it gets any better than this. You can comment below if you have another one that you want to throw in the mix. But between these two phones, I don't see what else you would need. What would you be missing? The SE, you can argue that is too small. I would even make that argument. But if you got an SE, you probably are roped into the Apple ecosystem. So you just love iMessage, you love FaceTime, and there's no way around that. So then this is clearly the winner. But if you're not roped in and you just need a phone, something simple, something with a good camera, good battery, access to the Play Store, solid build, and even if you put a skin on it, then the 4A is definitely here, and it's crushing other budget phones right now, just because you get all the software updates and the camera. I don't think any other phone in that $350 price range is going to come close to this camera. So there you have it, the Pixel 4A versus the iPhone SE. Size comparison there, they're almost, can't say identical. The Pixel is definitely taller. As far as the thickness, they're pretty similar. Pixel's probably slightly thinner. Solidly built phones. This is the best in the budget category right now. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Yella. I'm out. Until the next one. Peace.